After having a bit of a hot hatch experience with the Clio Williams and the Clio RS 172 Cup, I got the opportunity to take this out. This is the Ford Focus RS Mk1. So after 33 years of Ford referring to their small family car as the Escort, the Ford Focus was introduced in 1998. This was the first car from Ford where driver handling was as important as engine performance. So like its predecessor the Escort, it was inevitable that the Focus would end up on the World Rally stage. In 1999 with Colin McRae, and then later with Carlos Sainz, the older one. So in 2002, Ford decided to bring out an RS model. So they gave it a 2-litre turbocharged Duratec engine, which was capable of 212 brake horsepower. That's 215 PS. So that's quite a lot more than the 172 Cup, which is obviously 172, and a significant amount more than the Clio Williams, which was 150 PS. So the Focus RS Mk1 will get to 62 miles an hour in around about 6 seconds, and it will go on to a top speed of 144 miles per hour. Now, there are around 4,500 Focus RS Mk1s built. About half of those came to the UK, but now 20 years later there's fewer than 500 still on the road in the UK. So there's about 1,200 off the road, so maybe people are waiting for the values to go up, just keeping them in storage. It certainly has the feel of a future classic, and we've all seen what's happened to the prices of fast Fords that have gone before it. And when they created an RS version of the Focus, they couldn't just beef up the outer bodywork. They did a little bit of that, but nothing like as much as they did with the Escort RS Cosworth the decade before. So compared to the everyday road car, obviously the engine is different. We talked about that. But they also fitted a Quaife limited slip differential. It's got Sachs dampers, it's got Oz racing wheels, and it's got Brembo ventilated discs. Only about 30% of the components in the Focus RS are shared with the standard road model. And inside the car, you can just about make out behind me, it's got Sparco bucket seats. And I have to say, they're pretty comfortable. Now this came out at much the same time as the Clio RS 172 Cup. So by comparison to that, the first thing I really notice is the cabin is so much bigger. I don't feel hemmed in at all. I've got plenty of room. It feels really comfortable. Not sure if anyone could sit behind me, but it is a 3-door, so you wouldn't really expect that. And in fact, looking at the seats in this one, it hardly feels anyone sat in them at all. So I'm not getting the same soundtrack as I had in the Clio Williams, but there is a burble to the exhaust. It's just with the road noise from the tyres and the kind of insulation of the cabin, it's less obvious, certainly whilst I'm just cruising along. So one thing it does have in common with both the Clio Williams and the Clio Cup is the colour. Now, if I were to misquote Henry Ford, it would be, you can have any colour you like as long as it's imperial blue. So what do I think of the Focus RS Mk1? Well, I think for sure it's going to be a future classic. You've only got to see what previous fast Fords have done in terms of prices, values. It's got great acceleration, and when you do accelerate you can hear the noise behind you, and I quite like it. I'm an Essex boy, I was born in Essex. A Ford Escort was my first car, that was the Mark III. And I suppose, if I'm honest, I always wanted an XR3 or XR3i of that generation. So in a sense this is the car I'd probably lust after if I was that kind of a young teenage lad again. This is a 20-year-old car, but it doesn't really feel like it. It still feels quite sharp. There's still a good deal of power. There's a few things that I wish worked. The air conditioning itself does work. I can feel slight coolness of air coming across my face, but the actual blower doesn't seem to be blowing, so that's not great. the stereo needs sorting out. But other than that, it's a really nice car, and I think if I were to own a hot hatch, I know I said before the Clio Williams, and I suppose there's something about the Clio Williams. They're very similar in price actually to these, certainly for the Clio Williams 3 that I drove before. I don't know, I just feel more comfortable in this one. I'm a bigger chap. The Williams, the Clio is a smaller car. So I guess there's a degree of practicality about the Focus RS, if indeed that's in any way a factor in a decision to buy one. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye bye.